Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV Edition. I am Peter, that is Tim, and we are going to
hmm
talk about Tales from the Crypt, Season 3, Episode... What
mm
episode are we on? 10, right, Episode
10.
10. It's
hmm
called Mournin Mess. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. We had a couple of good episodes, the last couple. We've had a couple of good ones in a row, so let's see if this one keeps up the streak. This is about a journalist who is investigating this homeless society, which it caters to like burying homeless people once they've died, because there just happens to be a homeless murderer going around and killing people.
There's a homeless killer.
Yeah, serious business, and yeah, he's investigating this. Obviously, it's Tales from the Crypt, so something a bit more odd and
Oh, is
sinister.
it?
there's something a bit more odd and sinister at foot, and
Mhm.
he's investigating it, and he discovers things and stuff, and it's got a horror type ending.
Mhm.
Tim, did you enjoy Morning Mess?
I did, yeah. I
You
love this
did.
one. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I really really like the main actor Steven Weber. I think he's great. Maybe a little underappreciated.
Is it not pronounced Weber?
I've heard Weber before. Like I
No,
think.
fair enough.
I
I,
mean, I could be wrong,
I'm
but
I'm just going on the spelling, but there's only one B, so I would have assumed Weber, but
yeah. I mean, it could be. I don't know,
I,
but
I don't want to step on your toes here, Tim. If you're positive it's Weber, I will leave it at your gracious feet, Your Majesty.
Um, I'm not 100% sure, but I will bet my life on it. So,
It's
but
funny you bring up the cast actually, because I didn't know him super well, but I seen him recently in iZombie. Like that was really just in the
oh,
last
cool.
year or so he's been on that. There was a lot of recognizable faces because the woman from the Homeless Society, Jess, uh, I recognised her face and I looked her up. She was in Jingle All the Way. She was the mum in that movie.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that does sound familiar.
the journalist Dale, who's Stephen Weber's character, his boss,
Mm.
is the blonde from Universal Soldier, and I recognised
Oh,
her
well,
immediately.
okay.
I just was like,
Oh.
oh, that's her from because I've never seen her in anything else. I don't know her from
Yeah.
anything else, but I knew her voice and her face as soon as she started speaking. And I'm like, that's her from Universal Soldier. And then the
Oh,
homeless
interesting.
guy is one of these actors who shows up in tons of stuff. He passed away a long time
Oh
ago
yeah.
now. Uh,
Oh.
but he was on a couple episodes of Buffy. He played like Miss Calendar's uncle in a couple of episodes. He's popped up
Oh,
in
okay.
a lot of TV and just small roles like all over the
Yeah.
place. Like I've seen him tons of places.
Yeah, he definitely looked familiar, and I hope this isn't like an insult. Like, but I also figured like he seems like he's played a lot of homeless people. Like he kind of like he looks familiar, but he also kind of looks familiar as like a homeless person, not just like as an
I
actor.
I am not going to. I can't remember any other homeless roles. The roles I remember him in tended to be mysterious older man who was creepy kind of thing.
Which are probably homeless.
Shut up, Tim. Um, I didn't like this one as much as you actually. I liked the ending, but I thought it was otherwise just kind of okay. I thought a lot of the journalist stuff, like that was sort of taking up time in the episode, and the idea that he was sort of low for money and he was gradually becoming homeless himself.
See,
Um,
the thing that kind of worked for me with that is just that I enjoyed the character. Like I liked this kind of washed up, drunk journalist who's just messing up his life, and he's a real scumbag.
oh yes, he's awful. The first time we meet him, he wakes up, he realizes there's a girl in his bed, and he tells her to get out, and she's like, "Well, you said we'd spend the day together." He's like, that was a Jack Daniels talking. Go away.
Yeah.
Um,
So I definitely agree with you that it was like it was kind of slow, but it worked for me because I was interested like in this character and basically kind of seeing how he can drag his life further down.
fair enough. I think for me, I kind of guessed where. I mean, I didn't know exactly what they
Well,
were, but I knew quite early on that this homeless society were either
well,
killing them themselves or, and then it became very clear after a couple of lines of dialogue that they were probably eating the homeless people.
Well, the opening with the crypt keeper is him like in a chef costume,
Yeah, that's also
talking
true.
about cooking. So like I instantly knew like someone's gonna eat someone in this episode.
Yeah. So no, I guess I feel like I knew where it was going the entire time. It wasn't until the actual end of the episode where he goes to the cemetery where these plots are for all the homeless people, and he sneaks in. He finds a door, and that was when it picked up for me. Was the last 5 minutes, because when he sees this like house door at the bottom of a crypt or a grave, I was like, oh, that's a really weird bit of imagery. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, you could have made this just look like a latch or something like that, or something a bit more basic, but no, it looked like the front door of a house at the bottom of a grave. And then he goes in, there's all these tunnels, and then all the people who we've met from this society like take off their faces and they're monsters. And by the way, I want to point out the acronym for this society. I made a point of getting it up because I was never going to remember it. It's the Grateful Homeless Outcasts and Unwanted Layaway Society, which stands for ghouls.
I love that. I mean, I wonder what came first, the acronym, or like, did they fit it to need like the word, like we want to be called ghouls, but what could fit that, or did it just kind of conveniently work out?
From a character perspective, yeah. From a writing perspective, I'm sure they went, oh, let's call them ghouls. Let's think of something that says ghouls.
I just love that, like, hey, we can't just be like a society that eats people. Like, we have to have an official name. I'm sure, like, they probably have some, like, bullshit rules and charter and stuff that goes with it.
Yeah. But no, that's kind of it. It's him investigating this, and then he obviously becomes the main course at the end. His ear gets ripped off, and they start licking his ear, and it looks quite creepy and disgusting. And then it ends with, like, Jess, who's the main woman who he did actually sleep with, and kind of tried to trick her into giving information. So she seems like this victim almost at that point in the movie, episode. That said, though, she already dropped that line where she's like, "Oh, you look good enough to eat," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, she's eating people." Yeah. Or even before that, actually, when she said she didn't eat meat, just the way she said it, I was like, you don't eat cow meat. Yeah, you eat human meat. You want a bit of the human sausage. That's what you want. And that's not just a sex joke. She actually did want the human sausage.
I would like to know, like, who do they have working on their masks? Because that's, like, the most realistic looking, like, mask, like, you can find.
Yeah, honestly, that's a very cliche thing, actually, that I've seen a lot of movies do, where they'll go to do that to their face as if they're going to rip off the mask, and then it'll cut back when the mask is already halfway up, and then it looks like this cheap rubber mask. Like, you can tell it looks like shit once it's half, because obviously they've given them this fake mask that's halfway up, and they've put makeup on their actual face. But I've seen that done a few times, and it always makes me chuckle. It's like, yeah, the mask wasn't that good. Bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, why does your human disguise look more realistic than your actual form?
Because they're people making a TV episode. That's the answer.
That would be funny if there was like some like episode or movie or something where they did that, but the person just had like a really crappy like Halloween style human mask.
Actually, would be a really funny plot. That'd be a good horror comedy, actually.
Yeah.
It's funny actually, because at least with this one, you can get that they can't really do anything about that, feeling a bit cheesy. Whereas like one of the other complaints that feel quite similar to me is like when you watch like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, it's like, why is all the technology so much better than the original movies? Because they can still they could match it if they wanted to. They could design it to look like it was that technology. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. At least in this case. I mean, maybe nowadays like you would augment it a little bit with CG to make the face look kind of off, like something's not quite right. It's like it's almost human, but it's just a little bit creepy. But then again, you don't want to give away your twist ending, which admittedly we've seen coming, but still.
True.
But no, that's I like the ending. I liked him running around the sort of the underground like maze beneath the graves. I like that stuff, and I like the ultimate like. I like the design of the ghouls. I thought they looked quite cool. She is the world sort of licking his ear. I thought that was quite creepy.
If I had maybe like one complaint or one, maybe not a complaint, but one of those horror things where you're like, oh, why are you doing this? When he hides in the coffin and just starts like screaming and screaming after he notices a corpse is in there. Yeah,
it's the homeless guy that he was meeting with.
It's like, oh, like, what are you doing, man? Like, first of all, you had to have assumed that there was going to be a corpse in there.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. That's like going to McDonald's and then freaking out because there's a cheeseburger. Like you know, there's going to be the possibility. I mean, it might be empty, sure, but there's a fair expectation. There's a 50-50 shot here that there's going to be a dead body in that thing.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's coffin.
Now, show it, but the. I suppose you say Schrodinger's box as well, but you typically say cat, so it'd be Schrodinger's Schrodinger's corpse.
There you go.
Aye.
But I mean, if you're that, okay. If you're that like worried though about people finding you, like maybe don't start screaming like bloody hell.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah.
But yeah, the underground like layer though did look pretty cool. It was a shame we didn't get a ton of time in there.
Yeah, especially since they had to go out of their way to design that. Like they would have had to have built that.
Yeah.
Or at least find something that's in a cave and then dress it to look like that. So that took a lot of work for them to do, and it's weird that we only spend so little time on it. But I guess it just makes sense from the sense of the, building the mystery and whatever. I think that's why the episode wasn't amazing to me, is because I felt like the mystery was so obvious that throughout the rest of the episode, like I don't know if the character was likable enough for me to like just enjoy his escapades and watch him. I kind of liked his boss though, how sort of mean she was when she was firing him.
Oh yeah,
because he's like, don't do this to me right now. Oh, not right now. How about 5 seconds from now? Do you? I would hate to have to call security. Wait a minute. I would love to call security.
Yeah.
Brenda, get me security.
Yeah, their interaction was pretty cool. And yeah, he's certainly not a likable guy, but I was interested in, seeing where his story went. Now, to be fair, I wouldn't say that this was as good as the last couple episodes we had. Like the last
definitely. I would definitely say
2 or 3 or so I really liked. But no, I still thought this was an enjoyable one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't terrible. I wasn't super into it for like the first 2/3 of the episode, and then I did pick up towards the end when it actually got to the ghoul stuff. But no, so that is a Mournin mess. So let us know who you thought of that episode in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Oh, Tim's got something to say.
No, I was just gonna say, by the time this comes out, it'll be, a couple of weeks old. But I don't know if we should touch upon the fact that the new Tales from the Crypt show is canceled or stopped production or whatever.
Oh yeah, we actually mentioned this on the news, which by the time this comes out, as you say, will have been a couple of weeks ago. There was going to be like a new TNT Tales from the Crypt show. Shyamalan was producing it, but it ran into a bunch of rights issues, so much to the point that they've basically just shelved it indefinitely for the moment. They didn't say definitely never. They said that they could come back to it, but they're doing a sci-fi block with Ridley Scott instead.
That's interesting.
Instead of the horror block. And I like both horror and sci-fi, so for me it kind of works out anyway.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I'd really like to see a new Tales from the Crypt show. And I miss these kind of horror anthology shows. I know like Joe Hill was supposed to be doing like a Tales from the Dark Side a couple of years ago that got canned. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, that fell through. Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, I'd love to see Tales from the Crypt, but like I was kind of worried about the new show because I didn't know if it was going to be like this Tales from the Crypt that, we kind of know and love. Like, I'd love to see it back on HBO, like, back with like, full on Crypt Keeper, kind of style.
Well, yeah, that was the thing. We had no idea what the direction was going to be. We didn't know if they were going to have a Crypt Keeper, if it was going to even be a host. Was it going to be half hour? Was it going to be a full hour? Was it going to be more like a short movie kind of thing every week? We had no idea, but it's all a bit moot now. It doesn't really matter because it's not happening, at least for now. So, oh well, that's a shame. But here we are. We find other things to do. Exorcist is coming back for season 2 though, so it's not like horror TV is completely off the air. So that's fun.
Oh, Exorcist! I thought you said I thought you said Exodus. I was like, what?
Oh no, The Exorcist.
Exorcist. Gotcha.
Admittedly, I
Yeah,
may have sped through that a little bit and I mumbled through my words, but no. The Exorcist.
yeah, that'll be good to see.
So,
Um,
no,
Ash versus Evil Dead's coming back. That's always fun.
that is true, yeah, that's getting a season 3, so it's not all doom and gloom. Not all doom
Mm-hmm.
and gloom. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, get us on Patreon at patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and see some of the bonuses. One of which, for our $1, you get the episodes of our Tales from the Crypt reviews a week early. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the next one's already up on Patreon, and there's other stuff there to do with the main movie show as well. So no, but that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching Scary TV, and we will see you next time.